Let's discuss some terminology before we jump into setting up and writing codes. If you are new to JavaScript, some of the terms in the course might confuse you a little bit, like ECMAScript, JavaScript, ES 2020, ES 2019, ES 2018, ES 2017, ES 2016, ES 2015, ES6, ES5, and so on. So in this video, I'll be explaining about all these terms and their meanings. So let's begin. Like most programming languages, JavaScript continues to grow as more new features are added. But the growth that happens is pretty different from other consumer softwares or operating systems. So in comparison to softwares like iTunes or VLC, etc., or operating systems like Windows or Mac OS, whenever new versions of them come out or new features are added, we go and download those release, and we get those features after the bundle is downloaded. JavaScript is a little bit different. There isn't a single download link that we can go to for like Windows or for iTunes. Instead, JavaScript is present in all the different browsers like Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer, and so on, and it depends upon them to implement these new features. This works based on the standards that is provided by an organization called ECMA, ECMA. And ECMA is an international organization that is in charge of all different sorts of standards inclusive of programming. They have sort of like a bleak website. They provide standards for things like acoustics, dot, electromagnetic compatibility and electromagnetic fields, information storage, near-field communications, and then there is ECMAScript. ECMAScript is a specification for a scripting language, like a reference. In simple terms, it means it is a text document which says, this is a specification for a programming language and it should behave in this particular way. It should have these features. This particular thing should work this way. It's essentially not a language itself, but is a documentation of how a language should work. If you go through the website, you will see that it does not contain any code but descriptive information on how different pieces should work, how things are related to each other, and what keywords need to exist in a language. In short, it's a set of rules. Then it is up to the browsers to go and follow these rules and implement them as JavaScript. There's a committee called TC39 at ECMA organization who are in charge of evolving and maintaining this massive document that describes how ECMAScript should work. Every year, different delegates on this committee meet up. They listen to presentations, they debate to figure out which new features should be added to this specification. Now, as far as the naming happens, it can be a little confusing to the beginners. The way updates happened or new features were added was not on an annual basis until ES6. ES6 generally took 6 years to surface up, due to which the committee decided to change things up and just annually update the spec, so naming started to go by ES for ECMAScript, and then instead of the version number like 5 or 6, it's now a year like ES 2015, ES 2016 or ES 2017. Since there is no download or a particular way to define which browsers support which feature, there are certain websites that exist specifically to help us understand this. One is called caniuse.com, and if we search for some feature down here which is brand new to JavaScript, it gives us a compatibility chart for different browser supports. Another resource here is MDN, developed by Mozilla Firefox, which can be very useful for in-depth learning of particular feature or function or keywords. JavaScript.info is one of my favorites, which has a start-to-end documentation on JavaScript and can be very useful resource. Ah, what a way to start off the course. I know it's not an exciting topic, but I have to get this out of the way because a lot of what we are going to learn in this course are correlated to this topic. When I go through this course, and if I happen to say that this particular feature is not supported by Internet Explorer, then I want you to understand why that is. Why do some browsers have certain features and why some don't? So from the next topic onwards, let's get started with setting up our environment and dive into code. Do follow our Facebook page for more videos and updates, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. The links are given in the description, and I hope you enjoy our course. Thank you.